Bridget Bartlett here with Vision Marketing and Design, and today we are live inside of our team training where we are live Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So today, this week, we've been talking about ELMessenger Pro. It is the new tool that we've added to our suite of tools. If you want to actually get a free account and register for all of my free training, you can go to bridgetbartlett.com. But what we're looking at right now is actually the back office of ELMessenger Pro. So if you're using the extension, you can click there once you get logged in, and then here in the bottom corner, you want to click to access the back office, okay? So these are all the tags, and if anything doesn't make sense to you, just you can definitely go back and watch the previous trainings that we've done this week because we did talk about tags. But you'll see that with this tag here, and these are all different tags, okay? And remember, ELMessenger Pro does integrate with high level, so all of these tags actually correspond with a opportunity inside of a sales pipeline that we have built in high level, okay? And again, I talked about all of that this week. So if I toggle between these, you'll see that I have 174 contacts here. But then you see that I have no contacts tagged with any of these. And you'll see that with this one, I actually have myself tagged there. Okay. So if I go into this tag here, this is where I'm going to set the message templates and segments and everything that I want to use for this tag. Okay. So today what we're talking about is actually sending broadcast messages to your Facebook friends. Okay, so this works on your personal Facebook Messenger, and it basically turns it into a CRM. Okay, now what's really cool is, like I said, it integrates with high level, so you can move people from Facebook all the way through to, hopefully to a sale, right? So if you click on the automation here, this is what you want to use to send a broadcast message, meaning one message, okay? So if you have like maybe just like a greeting, or maybe you just, today you're running a special, or maybe you just did a training webinar that you want to share with all of your leads, you want to send a broadcast message, okay? So all you need to do is click on broadcast message, and then you can click here to use one of your default templates if you have one. And then you can actually click here and it says the default templates in the message tab there, right? So there's actually only one default template. So when you click there, you'll see that it removes that drop down there. But if you had multiple, you could choose from the selection. Now, like I said, I just have one. So I can choose the one that I'm using, or I could choose the default. Okay, so it's the same message because I only have one. So let's go ahead and we'll just select that. Now here, you want to choose the select send interval, which means the amount of time that it's going to elapse between messages. Okay, now this is really important. I like to do like 60 seconds because I like to be really really generous, because remember, Facebook doesn't like us to use these tools. They want us to use the business pages, and they want us to pay for paid ads, and there's lots of reasons why they want us to use the business pages, but we all know that the Facebook profile is much more efficient than a business page, right? So we want to use these tools to help us manage all of our leads, all right? And honestly, if you're networking in a organic, natural way, you're using Facebook, right? Or you're using LinkedIn, or you're using Twitter, or whatever. And so no matter what platform you decide to use, you need a way to manage those leads and to communicate with them. Here, you can actually set message limits. So let's say that you only wanted to send 10 messages a day. You could just move that to 10. Okay, now you could send as many as you want to, but I do caution you to think of human behavior. Okay, so I wouldn't send any more than like 20 messages a day. And again, it doesn't mean that you can never send 20 messages a day, but it's just like an email. You want to warm up to that, because you don't want to, the first time that you send to 5,000 friends, because you will definitely get restricted. But if you just warm it up, like maybe the first time send 5 or 10, and then maybe the next time send like 10 or 15, and then 15 and 20, and build that up, and that way Facebook sees the gradual action, instead of just suddenly now, out of the blue, you're sending 5,000 people a message, okay? Um, so once you choose all of that, it says here, do you want to change the tag automatically after sending? Okay. So let's say that you have everyone tagged with like follow up. And then this is actually your follow up message. Okay. So everyone that you wanted to follow up with about whatever it is, and you tag them and you put them in a follow up group, then you can actually tag them something else that is maybe the next phase. Like maybe you want to add followed up. Maybe that's a tag that you want to use so that you know these are all the people that you've already followed up with. So you could add the tag here, and you see that we can choose from the drop down menu, which is these tags here. Okay, so what's happening here, just to recap, is we're sending a automated message to everyone with this default tag. Okay, and we are going to send this message that we've chosen here. In between each message is going to be 60 to 65 seconds, and we are only going to send 10 at this time. Okay. And then once the message is sent, we would tag them with, they're already tagged with default, but maybe we wanted to tag them with Facebook cold leads. Okay. So what's going to happen is it's going to send the message out. It's going to send one every 60 to 65 seconds. It's going to send 10 of them. And then as soon as it sends it, it's going to tag them with Facebook cold leads. Now, if you had a automation inside of High Level that was sent out for everyone tagged with Facebook cold leads, then you would be sending, you would also be triggering that automation. Okay, so hopefully you're following me with all of this. Okay, now the campaigns are a little bit different. Okay, and just to show you, inside of this tag, there is my message template. You can see if I click on here to edit, you'll see that I have my message typed out here. You can actually attach a file there. You can use the emoticons. You can actually choose a message segment here, which is actually these here. Okay, now remember, this is different for each tag. So whatever you've selected over here, this is what you are setting for this tag. Okay, and then of course you can choose one of the links, and we talked about creating links as well on Tuesday. So definitely go back and watch that out. You could also choose the canned responses. All right. Now, if you ever at any point get really overwhelmed with this, you can go to your extension here, and then at bottom right hand corner, you'll see help. Let it load here. Everything loads slower when I'm live, but you'll see the little help with the question mark in the bottom right hand corner. Yeah, there you go. Need help. And then that will go into the training here, or the knowledge base, where it literally walks you through step by step how you would create a broadcast message in a campaign, and kind of helps you to understand how all of that works. Okay. So within this tag here, we have the context tagged with that tag. We have our message template. Okay. Now, because this is selected, we could have multiple, but when we chose the default message, it's choosing the one that gets selected here. So if we just add, like, I'm just going to say test, and then we'll add template. You'll see that this one is not selected. So if I went to the contacts here and I chose my automation and I chose default, it's going to choose the one that was actually selected. But since we unselected or unchecked that box, now it gives us the opportunity to choose that test message template or the one here. Okay, so let's go back here. I'll just delete this. Okay. And then also message segments. Okay. So the message segments are actually multiple variations of a message. Now, this is really important too, because you want to make sure that you are not, if you're sending out, even if it's 10 messages, even if you go to Facebook and you just literally copy and paste the same message over and over again manually, Facebook will restrict you, and it will say that you are sending messages too fast. You're abusing the feature, and you will not be able to send messages. Okay. So that's if you did it manually. Now, when you're doing it automatically, you definitely want to be more mindful, because, it could send 1,000 messages in a matter of seconds if you really wanted it to, but you don't, right? So I actually just created this test segment here. And then we have 2 messages, but if I wanted to add another one, like this just says, hey, and then we have the tag to add their name, just testing this feature. Okay. If I wanted to add another one, I would say hello. And let's go ahead and add their message tag so that it says hello McCall and hello Maria. So if I was sending them this message, then it would have their name, and then I could say just testing. And once I create that, if I wanted to put the little smiley here, I could choose one of those. Let's say I choose this one. Okay. And then I want to add that variant. Okay. So now what's happening is when I'm sending this message segment to my list, it's going to choose, like, maybe McCall gets this first one. And then if Maria is the next one, maybe she gets this one. And then maybe Bob is the next message, and then Bob may get this one. Okay. And then they would start over. They might be jumbled up. But really, if you're thinking about if we're mimicking human behavior, you were, organically typing this out, you would not type everything exactly the same way every single time. Okay. So that's why we kind of want to put these safety measures in place to kind of trick Facebook to thinking that it's an actual person that's doing this. Okay. So once you get all of that, created for your message segment, then you would just save it. Okay. Now, I know that I'm blowing through this, and I will definitely do lots more training, more in depth on all of this, but I also know that a lot of you guys are just getting started with it, and you're like me, you want to know everything right away and what to do, and I definitely encourage you to go to those help docs there, and it will break down and explain to you all the different awesome features that we have available in ELMessenger Pro. So let's talk about campaigns, okay? So we just talked about the automation, how to send a one-time broadcast message. But to understand campaigns, I created this little graphic for you, okay? So campaigns are actually if you think of it like 3 broadcast messages, and let me just expand this a little bit. I like the actual cool view there, but so if we think about the campaign, okay, it's 3 broadcast messages, but let's say that we have these messages and we want them to go in order, okay, and we don't want, maybe if this person, actually I do have to move this around. So let's say that this lead here, okay, this is McCall. I'm going to use McCall because him and Maria are watching on YouTube. So hello, everyone. And McCall says, hello, visionaries. I love that, McCall. Did you trademark that yet? Because I think that's what I'm calling my tribe. I absolutely love it. Okay, so let's say that this is McCall, and he hops into my CRM, my ELMessenger Pro, right? And I run this campaign, and it's his first day in there, so he's going to receive message A. Okay, but this is Maria, and she has not hopped into my CRM yet, right? So she's not tagged with anything, and she's not received a message. But on day 1, McCall has received this first message. Okay. Now everyone who's tagged with whatever McCall is tagged with is going to receive message A. But let's say, we've completed that campaign run, because you need to do it once a day, because remember, it's not like high level where we can just set everything to drip and all that. We really need to mimic human behavior. So you may need to run that campaign over at, maybe a few days to be able to send if you have a really large list. Okay. So let's say we run our campaign. Everyone who's tagged with McCall's tag gets message A. All right. Now, let's say the next day or 2 days later, we decide that we're going to run the campaign again, because everyone who was tagged with that now is the list has completed. Okay. So now McCall is set for message B. Okay. Now here comes Maria. We run the campaign again, right? And Maria just popped in today. So Maria's not on day 2. She hasn't received message A yet. So we're going to run the campaign again, but the system is smart enough to know that Maria has not received message A. Okay, so we're going to run that same campaign, and McCall's going to get message B, and then Maria is going to get message A in the same day. Okay. Now, let's say we complete all of that, and now we're on the 3rd day, or whenever the 3rd run of our campaign is, okay? And then McCall he's getting message C, and then Maria is getting message B, and then Maria's sister hops in, and now on the same day, Maria's sister is now getting message A. Okay, so it's smart enough to be able to segment all of those things. And that's why I didn't want to really go too much in depth with the campaigns, because I really want to test and create a really cool campaign that I want to share with you guys. And I want to make sure that I've built it and tested it and all of that before I really do an in-depth training on campaigns. But this is the structure of the campaign. So when we go back here, and we're looking at the campaign option, you can see here that we're choosing the campaign option within this tag. Okay, so we click here and you'll see that now all we need to do is just select the message interval and then the message limit. And then we're going to choose, once we send this campaign and the campaign is complete. Okay, so it says, do you want to change the tag automatically after sending? We're going to send to the next step in that campaign. Okay, or whatever tag you want to add them to. All right, so that's the basic rundown of how campaigns work. But like I said, actually creating the campaign and figuring out what you want to add in there and then getting a really good use case, I want to do a more in-depth training on that, and I didn't want to keep you guys all day today. So thank you all so much for joining me. Again, if you have not created a free account for ELMessenger Pro, you can go to bridgetbartlett.com. You'll also get all of my free training. And remember, McCall says, the name is all yours. Actually, it's all yours, McCall, because you are officially a visionary, and so is Maria. I love it. I really, that's what I'm calling my tribe now. I love it. Okay, so remember, if you are a member and you have questions, or you are, maybe you want to join high level, you're already on high level, whatever you would like to talk to me about, you can actually join me at immediately following this training. Give me just a few minutes, and then I will be in the Zoom room. Just go to bridgetbartlett.com. Click the button to join me in the Zoom room, and I will be there to assist you. So thank you all so much for joining me. I will see you all tomorrow, same time, same place. Go make your vision a reality. Bye.